boy DEMEGODTV.
It's Wave God in this motherfucker. Hey, shout my nigga Demi T though.
Got the song pop like I'm Iggy. All they talking about is last night like I'm Demi. Say you got.
Groupies donated $5. Damn ski pulled the Michael.
Let's see what the
Up Dean TV, Dean Nation, Dean family. Today we're doing a reaction to most amazing top 10. You're filming facts actually, and it's top 10 secret warfare experiments. And with the SS, that means more than one. That means a lot of them. You feel me? The government doesn't want you and us and me, myself, and all of us around the world want you to know. You feel me? And if you're new to the channel, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video on all social medias, and comment below what reaction you want me to do next. And check out the original video in the description box below. Road to 100K, a million, and a billion. So click that subscribe button and show support and love to the channel. You feel me? And check out the DNTV clothing merch and go copy some, show support to me. You feel me? And check out the channel also. And no further ado, let's get into the reaction.
Biological warfare experiments to unethical human experiments. Let's talk about this and more as we look at some secret warfare experiments that the government tried to hide. Starting off this countdown, we have the prisoners. In 1902, American doctors stationed in the Philippines decided to do some experiments on their own. First, they withheld proper nutrition from 29 of their prisoners. They did so in order to
yo, so they put them in jail and enslaved them. Hey, yo, that's
use beriberi, which is a disease caused by lack of vitamin B1. Lack of vitamin B1 can cause difficulty walking, loss of feelings in the hands and feet, and loss of muscle function. It can cause irreversible damage to your nervous system and heart. And they forced these prisoners into this. 4 of the test subjects died as a result. Then later that year, another physician decided to inject 5 prisoners with the bubonic plague. The prisoners had no...
Bro, it be your own doctors that you think that's for you.
Clue about this, and they became very sick. Then, 4 years later, in 1906, Dr. Richard P. Strong infected more prisoners with cholera. All subjects became sick, and
what is that?
Sadly died. Most of the tests were done to see what disease they should use in case of biological warfare. In our 9th spot, we have Operation Big Itch. Operation Big Itch was the name given to a number of tests conducted at grounds in 1954. The experiments involved testing biological warfare on unexpected fleas. At least this time they used fleas and not real people. So the fleas were loaded into 2 types and then dropped from the air. After a bunch of trial and error, the operation was a success. Not only could the fleas survive the drop, but they also could still attach themselves onto the hosts, which were guinea pigs. These tests were done to see if it was possible to use infected fleas and drop them into an area to make people sick. That's not all though. In a project known as Operation Big Buzz, they decided to use mosquitoes. In May of 1955, over 300...
Yeah, I know about Big Buzz, because they doing that shit now. If you're in Texas, in Florida, or in the southern parts of the... in America, well, they want to call America, yeah. If y'all know, you know. They released GMO mosquitoes. So... yeah, that fit perfect.
1,000 uninfected mosquitoes were dropped over parts of the U.S. state of Georgia. If it worked, they were going to infect these mosquitoes with yellow fever. These 2 are just some of the entomological warfare tests done in history. In our 8th spot, we have the Edgewood arsenal drug experiments. Beginning in the 1950s, the Army decided to run some tests on psychoactive drugs and other chemical agents on soldiers. About 7,000 soldiers took place in these experiments, and they were exposed to 250 different chemicals. Some of the chemicals that were tested on them were sarin gas, LSD, PCP, cannabinoids, irritants, and riot control agents.
So they just said they were just a prisoner. God damn, this is a real guinea pig, a lab rat.
These chemicals chemicals and drugs had on the soldiers were studied and noted. In 1975, the tests were canceled after being deemed controversial.
Yeah, that's why my cousin in the military said, when you sign to the military, your body ain't yours no more. He said, literally, when you sign and be in the military, your body is theirs now. So it's like you have no freaking control over whatever they say, it goes. Simple, you feel me? So it's like, yeah, like your body ain't really your body. This shit crazy. Like you sign that shit away to them, and you gotta do what they say. If you don't, you ain't gonna get paid. Like, they kicking your ass out. Crazy, right?
In the end, most of the test subjects suffered from psychological trauma and serious health problems. In our seventh spot, we have the Plutonium Experiments. Over the years, the US government has participated in a number of plutonium experiments. One of them involved a man named Albert Stevens. This man was misdiagnosed with stomach cancer and then was told he was going to receive treatment for this cancer. Meanwhile, he was just a test subject. He was injected with plutonium without even knowing. And then they said he was cured. He was led to...
So that's how these motherfuckers get you. What did I be telling y'all, Dean family? These motherfuckers is in it with these motherfuckers. Like, they in cahoots with each other. Like, this is a big ass business. This the profit off of us. And you who watching, they profiting off you too. You feel me? Like, we gotta stand up. Like, I wouldn't even say necessarily rebel, but we gotta do something. Like, something gotta give. Like, we gotta need something better for like the next generation, the next up and coming. You feel me? It's like we can't keep living in this cycle of ignorance, of toxicity, and fucking hate and manipulation. You feel me?
Believed that the treatment had cured him. In fact, he received the highest known accumulated radiation dose ever recorded. It should have been lethal. In the end, the plutonium remained present in his body for the remainder of his life, slowly decaying over the years. He ended up dying 20 years later from heart disease. And his ashes were actually stolen so that they could continue analyzing the radioactivity of this man. But they did this without the consent of his relatives. In our sixth spot, we have the burn victims. In the 1950s, researchers at the Medical College of Virginia performed a number of unethical experiments on burn victims. In particular, they targeted poor black victims.
Hey, yo!
Did not give their
Hey, BLM, Black Lives Matter. Hey, yo! What the fuck? Hey! I wasn't even expecting that shit there. Hey, yo, BLM. Yo, our people went through some shit. Hey, yo. Hey, let's figure out we'll see what happens. Our people going through shit like that. Being experiments and shit. Yeah, that did happen too.
In particular, they targeted poor black victims. These victims did not give their consent for these tests. They were then subjected to additional burning, experimental antibiotics, and injections of radioactive isotopes. Over a 10-year period, more than...
You know what acetone is? It's the stuff that they put in nail polish and what they put in alcohol. If you know what alcohol is, well, a lot of people turn up to it, or drink with it, turn up, and sometimes they turn to a whole different person. You feel me? Yeah, when that liquor get into their system.
770 patients were experimented on. 460 of them were African American. A number of people developed fluid loss and anemia from the severe burns that they were subjected to. We are now at our fifth and halfway mark with the chemicals. From 1950 to 1953, the U.S. Army conducted a number of experiments over 6 cities in the U.S. and Canada. The tests were to see the dispersal patterns of chemical weapons. So they sprayed chemicals all over these cities. Some of the chemicals being zinc cadmium sulfide, which was thought to not be harmful. One place affected by these sprays was Winnipeg, Manitoba in Canada. They were informed that they were testing a chemical fog to protect Winnipeg in the event of a Russian attack. So they said that this fog was going to be a defense study, which was a lie. Although it was said to be a small dose that they were exposed to, in some urban environments, people were exposed to higher levels. And because of how small the size of the particles were, it made
what I've been telling y'all, Dean family, they're trying to kill us.
More dangerous, according to a scientist, due to the fact that they could get lodged deeper into people's respiratory systems. Thankfully, no one died from the tests, but it's so sketchy how they lied about it all. Like, yeah, we're doing these tests to protect you. Just kidding! In our fourth spot, we have the Holmesburg program.
You see that what's going
From
on right
1951
now.
to 1974, a number of dermatological experiments took place in Holmesburg Prison in Pennsylvania. The studies were performed by Dr. Albert M. Kligman on behalf of the U.S. Army, Dow Chemical Company, and Johnson & Johnson. The test started with looking at health effects of dioxin and other herbicides on the human body. So they exposed some patients to these chemicals. And years later, a number of them developed a variety of health problems like lupus. So they actually sued the professor. But that didn't stop him from continuing on with these experiments. In fact, he increased the amount of dioxin that the people were exposed to. He applied 7,500 milligrams of dioxin. That's 468 times the dosage of the first test, which still made people ill. The prisoners developed a number of terrible inflammatory pustules and papules. That's not all, though. In 1967, the U.S. Army paid Kligman to apply skin-blistering chemicals to the faces and backs of inmates so they could learn how the skin protects itself from toxic chemicals in case of attack. One creepy report from Kligman said, and I quote, "All I saw before me were acres of skin. It was like a farmer seeing a fertile field for the first time." That's disgusting. In our third spot, we have the Fp45 Liberator, which was anything but liberating. This was a failed weapon that was going to be used by the U.S. military during World War I. Since it was small, it could be made cheaper and more of them could be produced. The plan was to have these weapons airdropped to the soldiers. They then were going to use these weapons to kill enemy troops before stealing their weapons. Plus, they thought that enemies would be intimidated when they see all these weapons being airdropped to them. They wanted to strike fear into them. The U.S. produced 1 million of these weapons, but it was all for nothing. The whole thing was found impractical and ineffective, and a waste of time and money. In our second spot, we have the Dorset Experiments.
But ain't that's what they always do, though?
Between 1953 to 1975, a series of experiments were done to see how far one ship or aircraft could spread a biological warfare agent over the UK. These experiments were referred to as the Dorset Biological Warfare Experiments. Between 1961 to 1968, more than 1 million people along the south coast of England were exposed to E. coli and Bacillus globigi. It was spread by a military ship anchored off of the Dorset coast, spraying the organisms towards them. That was just one experiment out of many. Another one included releasing a bacteria in the London Underground at lunchtime to see how far it would spread. In fact, people close to where the trials took place became very sick. Women miscarried, other kids were born with cerebral palsy or had birth defects. They blame these experiments. And in our number one spot today, we have the Irradiation Experiments. Between 1916 to 1971, the Department of Defense funded a number of radiation experiments. These experiments, again, were conducted without the person's consent and was mainly performed on poor and black patients with cancer. The patients were told that they were receiving a treatment that might cure their cancer, which was a lie. Instead, researchers were seeing the effects that high levels of radiation would have on the human body. Imagine thinking that these doctors were here to help you, but in the end, you were just one big test subject for them. And they weren't helping you. In the end,
that's how it is for right now. What's going on in this pandemic? You see the coordination, see the pattern that's going on here. Ding dong, ding nation. Hope you guys like this and enjoy it. You feel me?
Video top 10 real people that are too evil for prison. I don't know why I said it like that. Christina Hernandez commented, "Dressed like Chucky. Love it, Lindsay." So if you guys don't follow me on Instagram, I made a revelation the other day. I was wearing these overalls and a striped shirt underneath, and I realized I looked like Chucky. And I realized I already filmed a video looking like Chucky, and I already know all the comments are gonna be saying that I look like Chucky. So I called myself out before you guys could, but it was bad. I'm never wearing that top ever again, I swear. Reese Thomas commented, "I hope your Monday is going great, Lindsay. Thank you so much, Reese." Best. So shout out to you, Reese. I see all your comments. I wish I could reply to every single one of them. And
I actually do that.
San Juan commented, "Hey, next video, can you do a cartoon Johnny test theory? See, we used to do scary cartoon theories, scary cartoon urban legends, till you guys started taking it too seriously and coming at me and trying to cancel me. They're like, oh, you just ruined my favorite cartoon. I'm like, chill out. It's a theory. It's not real. Anyway. Alright guys, that's all the comments I'm shouting out for today's video. Make sure to comment something down below for a chance to be featured in my next comment shout out. And as always, don't forget to give this video
Hope you guys like that. D Family, D Nation, like, comment, subscribe, and share the video on all social medias. Comment below what reaction you do next. And see you guys next time. Love you guys. I'm out. Go show this channel some love. And tell them Dean sent you. And subscribe to the channel. And let's reach 100K, 50K, a milli, a billy, and a trilly as a family, as a nation. So click that subscribe button. And it's free and easy. You feel me? You just gotta click that subscribe button. You feel me? Something simple. And tell others to subscribe to the channel. I love you guys. Happy Black History Month. You feel me? And see you guys next time.